Hello? Is this thing on? Can you hear me? Hello, dear viewers. Imprisoned Bippin here. Yes, I'm still stuck in the future. It's still, what did I say it was last time? 2114? Yeah, it's that. So, as you might remember, I was carted away by behavior employees. It seems I kinda got ahead of myself, and I thought since I was in the future, I could leak the entire roster of killers coming to the game, in those coming years. How dare my hubris, am I right? How dare it? So, I have been thrown in a prison, in a behavior cell. Yes, they have grown a substantial amount. They are now a huge corporation on par with Google. But yeah, I have actually fashioned a device, a computer, a mini little computer, as you may, out of some stuff I found lying around here. I'm a real tinkerer, you know. My brain it gets too big sometimes. I mean, you might know that already. Anyways, the point is, I'm still gonna leak the entire roster here. I have the list. They don't know I'm recording this, so yeah, I'll just go over some of the killers that they're doing. So I'm gonna be revealing like both licensed and original killers because you know there's a bunch of them. So you know you got your licensed killers like the big names from horror movies and franchises and games and fan fictions, and then you got the original characters which were solely made by behavior, and you know like they can go crazy with these. Their creative juices just keep flowing. So yeah. This video is not clickbait whatsoever. I am leaking this entirety of rosters. I am from the year, say it again, past Bippin. 2114. Yeah, I'm from that year. Alright, but I am gonna have to keep my voice down sometimes, or else, you know, the prison warden is gonna come along, and he's gonna find me, and he's gonna see me recording, and then he's gonna break my entire shit. He's gonna break all my setup, dude. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. Here's all the stuff coming to the game. Now this is a license that I know a lot of people might be iffy on. I honestly think it's a great scary movie. I think it's a very masterfully done IP. Yeah, here it is. It's another killer paragraph. It's Sharknado. Now, for some odd reason in this chapter, I don't know why behavior's doing this, but it's really boiling my blood. The DLC is $69 on the store. I guess they're having a laugh. Anyways, the power for Sharknado is called Shark Launch. Practically, when you're playing as the Sharknado, you're kind of like a smaller version, a little more of a condensed version, and you're just moving around. Basically, if you press the power button, you launch a shark forward that you can slightly control with your cursor, almost a little bit like the pinhead chain. If a survivor is hit by this shark, it reveals their aura and makes them oblivious. If they don't remove it in 10 seconds, the shark damages them for a health state. Removing the shark only takes 1 second. However, if you remove it yourself, you remove a chunk out of your body. Yes, they finally added gore. After 3, you are damaged for a health state. Other people can also remove the shark, but they do it more carefully so they don't lose a chunk if you get your friends to do it. Also, every 5 seconds a shark is flung in a random direction, so that's pretty cool. I guess it encourages more like random chaotic gameplay. Now, kind of like the Trickster and the Huntress, because it's a ranged killer, you have to reload your sharks at lockers. I know we kind of have to suspend disbelief a little bit, but you know. Also, you do have a movement ability. You can use this once every 1 minute. You can swoop up, go high in the sky, back into the clouds, you know, and then you can choose a place to descend on, but you can't see survivors. It's like the whole spirit phasing or Dracula's bat form. But when you descend on a location, it takes 5 seconds for you to come down, and if there's any survivor, like, you form a big Sharknado that basically comes down from the sky, and if there's any survivors caught in it, they get sucked up, they get hurt, they get damaged, and then you get an 150% movement speed boost for 2 seconds, and you start to shrink in size back to your normal Sharknado size after that 5 seconds, you know. Honestly, good job, behavior, bringing in Sharknado. I think that was very well needed. If you had to ask me, I really like this idea. I think that I honestly think this is my favorite killer. Now, honestly, this next original killer is, I think, my favorite. From what I've seen, it's a killer I've been like really wanting to see the concept kind of done before. His name is Flong. Now, his backstory actually states that his full name is Flong the Killer. Flong the Killer is really cool. I think that, first of all, this name fucking rocks. Second of all, his power is really interesting, and he seems like he has a lot of potential to become like an S-tier killer, you know, in the tier lists. Now, everybody has been saying for a while, you know, like, behavior. We need a transforming killer. You know, people thought that there was going to be a werewolf or something. We need something that, like, powers up. Don't mention Dracula at all. Yeah, guys, I'm happy to announce that Flong is actually the first transformation killer. He starts off as this kind of little mild-mannered, he's a little guy. This is, by the way, by the time that behavior has actually, you know, strayed away from mostly human killers. These are, like, non-human, you know, everything unknown. It's really scary. So Flongkeepy's kind of like this little guy, this little goober guy. And, you know, you might be saying, like, this is a horror game, Bippin. Why does he look like that? He's so small, he's so charming. He's so charming. But, like, I wouldn't be scared of that, Bippin. What the hell? Well, you just wait until Flongkeepy transforms. Yes, Flongkeepy actually transforms into his mega form. He transforms into Flabber Grabber, which, now that I'm thinking about it, sounds a little wrong. Flabber Grabber is this big, beefed up version of Flong, and he's big and he's scary and he's got a lot more power. And honestly, you know, there've been a lot of attractive characters in this game. But I think Flabber Grabber really has that look, you know, like, I like how behavior went in the direction of more horror design with this one, rather than, like, you know, basic attractive human, that brings in, like, the desperate people, I guess. I really like this design. I think that they did awesome with this. I think this is a bang-up, scary design. I always thought that the idea of a small little helpless critter, you know, some may refer to him as silly, getting some false trust in him, only for him to turn into like a big scary monster version of himself that's really horrific. I always thought that was a cool idea, and I'm glad that they implemented it with this character. Yeah, I'm really excited. Now, let me explain Flong's power here. Flongkeepy, his power is to transform, obviously. But to do that, Flongkeepy must find his keepy bits around the map. The most important power to the keepy species. Wow, try saying that 10 times fast. So now these little keepy bits will be scattered across the map in random locations. Think like supply cases for, like, you know, Wesker or Nemesis or something. So here's the thing. Flongkeepy is actually pretty fast in his small form. He moves at 10 meters per second. So basically, Flongkeepy can't damage you as small Flong, as, you know, little Flong. He just moves very fast, and he has a goofy little tear radius. But that's how you know, like, the suspense is building. He can still damage things and break things and vault stuff and check lockers. But once Flongkeepy finds 3 keepy bits around the map, he transforms. Again, Flabber Grabber is his big form. Basically, he transforms, he's a big buff guy, he's very scary, and in this form, he runs kind of like a little faster than the normal killer. He enters, like, he gets 5 meters per second, he moves at 5 meters per second. During this time, his punches insta-down characters, it's crazy. Pallets dropped on him break. He's basically just like a god, but this only lasts for like 30 seconds. After that, he transforms back into Flongkeepy and then must repeat the process. You know, it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight's kind of like a linear match, maybe even like a curved graph at some points. You know, like what's the word? God damn it, I'm forgetting it. Oh my god, math. So basically, you have these big ups and you have these big downs throughout the game, and it's just kind of fun because, you know, it's like a side objective. You have to go find the stuff that actually helps you, you know? So anyways, that's Flongkeepy. I think I really like him. I think he's my favorite character.
That's your favorite? Yeah?
Now this one, I am very excited to share with you guys. You know, there have been talks about this license in the game for ages. We've constantly been asking for this as a full chapter. It's an iconic horror character. Yes, that's right. All you Friday the 13th fans are finally gonna get what they want. It's insane. Unfortunately, it's a killer paragraph. You're only getting the killer, no survivor, no map, and yes, that's a bummer. I know a lot of people wanted Camp Crystal Lake. Tommy Jarvis is the survivor, but, you know, you're still getting the real deal here. So the killer is Pamela Voorhees' head. Yes, that's right, this killer is called The Head, and it's just Pamela Voorhees' decapitated head. yeah, due to licensing issues and other behind-the-scenes issues, they couldn't get Jason Voorhees. So it's Pamela Voorhees' head. That's the next best thing. Yeah, so when you're playing as the head, you can't see. The whole screen is black, and you spawn on a random stump in the map. You can't move, you can't attack, you can't really do much. But you can press the space bar to say iconic Pamela Voorhees lines. So yeah, you guys got your Friday the 13th wrap. I hope you're happy. I honestly think this might be my favorite killer. Now this right here is one of the scariest killers I've ever seen. This is Joseph Slentner. Joseph Slentner may look like a normal dude, but that's because he is. Joseph Slentner's power is to be slightly better than you at everything in school, causing you to have a slightly, you know, like, causing you to form a kind of a strange rivalry, you know, over the course of school. You know, just trying to be better than him, you know, it gets really in your head, and then it gets really stressful all the time, even though you're creating your own battles. I mean, like, why are you doing this to yourself? He's just slightly better than you. Why don't you just, like, focus on yourself? You know, everybody's different! After careful consideration, Behavior has planned to scrap Joseph Slentner from the roster. We thought it would be better than for the player's mental health that we didn't release this character. Real shame though, because he would have been my favorite.
I could have sworn you said the other one was your favorite, but whatever, we'll move on.
Now, I'm going to do a little something different here. I know I said I was focusing on the killers because, you know, those are mainly they're the heart of the chapters, you know, they're the new iconic horror villains, they're the new, you know, they're the staples of the horror franchise. But this one is actually a licensed Survivor paragraph. To all you Predator fans, you know, Predator, you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted. Maybe not exactly what you wanted, but to all your Predator fans, new Survivor, Chris Hansen. Yep, they got him in the game. It's actually insane. I can't believe they got his likeness and everything. I can't believe like all that is in the game. It's really strange. It's a really strange addition. But they actually added a really cool interaction where if you're playing against Freddy Krueger as Chris Hansen, you instantly win the match because, you know, why don't you grab a seat? Now, what's the type of horror that we haven't seen in Dead by Daylight? If your answer is drugging people, then yes, we haven't got that. The closest thing we have to is Blight injecting his serum. However, this new licensed killer actually can infect you. They infect you with this drug, and this drug starts to make you see things, horrible things, like crazy things. It makes you act differently. It makes you. What I'm trying to say here is, this killer forcibly injects you with a drug. So yeah, put in your thoughts, put in your guesses. Let's see if you got it right. Evil Bong. Evil Bong. That's right, guys. They've actually added Evil Bong into the game. That is insane. I've been waiting for this killer for so long. I know the Dead by Daylight subreddit has been exploding about this killer. So basically, for those who don't know, Evil Bong is a very, very popular, very well-received horror movie. It's about this, well, can you guess? It's an evil bong. Okay, let me just skip to the good part. Let me just skip to the power. So basically, the evil bong can't move. But however, you know, like instantly everybody in the trial becomes addicted to marijuana, and it's, you know, it's bad really for them. But basically, if they come in this radius around you as they play, it's almost like a rushing, like a game, let's try to get this over with as quick as possible. Because the longer they stay in the match, this radius expands around the evil bong. And if you get caught in it, your character will slowly start moving on their own towards the evil bong. And then once they obviously get to the evil bong, you know, like, and as time goes on, not only does this radius grow in size, but also in intensity. It's harder to fight it back. But if you can't fight it back in time, if you don't hit enough skill checks, yeah, there's skill checks involved, then it will actually guide you towards the evil bong, and you will take a fat rip out of that bit. For the rest of the game, you will then have to encounter horrors all around you, scary, spooky visions. Your survivor will laugh from time to time, and that will alert these visions, these spooky monsters, and they will actually be the ones attacking you. So basically, as the evil bong, you are just sitting there waiting for people to come take a rip out of you, and then these AI horrors, after they get high, really fucking high, start to spawn and hurt the survivors. And it's really cool. Yeah, So that's Evil Bong. I'm glad all the Evil Bong fans are getting their #1 pick in the game. And honestly, you know, if we're being really honest here, I honestly think this one's gotta be my favorite. This next killer is probably one of the scariest I've seen in the game. I think they're really like going hard with their design team. This next killer is the Landlady. She's really scary. Basically, she just walks around and her power is to raise your rent. That's all she does. Like, she actually raises your your real life rent for wherever you're staying. This killer cannot be played against people who are still living with their parents. I am a very big fan of the horror franchise, and honestly, this character just, it scares me. It really does. Yeah, I think this one's gotta be my favorite, actually.
Okay, you can only have one fucking favorite, alright?
Now, next up, this is an original killer by Behavior. One of the employees came up with this idea himself, actually. This is the Crow Father. You know, since we have the Crow Mother. So this guy, he's pretty tall, he's got an average build, he's got a crow mask, and he's got like feathers all over his clothes. It's pretty cool, he looks like a crow guy. His power is better than the artist's. That's actually the power description. No, I'm just joking, I'm f***ing with you. Do you feel f***ed with? Do you? His power works like this. He has 3 charges, and the charges recharge, obviously, the charge. These charges recharge about every, like, I don't know, make up a number, 30 seconds? Yeah, 30 seconds. He has 3 charges, and he can use a charge to send a murder of crows towards certain objectives, like generators, pallets, windows, exit gates, chests, breakable walls, totems, you name it. This murder will take about 10 seconds to arrive, and once it does, it will swarm around the objective, kind of creating a zone that expands over the course of like 20 seconds to a maximum distance. Survivors caught inside this zone are oblivious and have their footfalls shown to the killer in white, you know, like kind of how Chucky, you know, those ones. If crows are sent to like a window or a down pallet or a standing pallet, they will render it unusable for 10 seconds. Obviously, once you have 3 crow zones out there, the next charge that you use it'll get rid of the oldest crow swarm. And now you may be asking, well, Mr. Bippin, how would he work around 3 gens? You know, because then you could just keep all 3 of these on the gens, and then it would be kind of like another 3-gen killer, and everybody wouldn't like that. Well, you see, they don't care. Behavior doesn't fucking care. They don't care at all. It's 3, they don't care about 3 gens. In the future, in this time period, what's the year again past me? 2114. In this year, they fully embrace 3-genning. It is a completely legitimate strategy, and they're making more powers around it, so it's just gonna be fun. Additionally, as a part of this guy's power, you know the crows that would normally spawn around the map that you can scare away? These are kind of given a little buff. If a survivor scares off one of these crows, there's actually a 5% chance that that crow will like jump scare them. You know, they'll go like, "Caw!" and they'll swoop at them. You know, they'll swoop down, and basically it'll like give you that whole artist thing where you become swarmed with crows. They'll come down and they'll start swarming around you, and you have to repel it. And if you don't do it in time, you'll be damaged for a health state, and that's pretty much it. That's the Crow Father. I like this guy. I think he's probably like one of my favorites of the original killers. This next killer is a little more abstract. I think they wanted to go a little psychological horror with this one. This killer is called the Voice of Reason, and it's a giant floating brain in a jar. Basically, it has like these little rocket boost things. Basically, its power is called Words of Discouragement. It telepathically can talk to you during the game, and every so often, basically, you can use this power and target a survivor in the game, and you can just harass them with discouraging words. I think some of the voice lines I've overheard are, "You're not doing well," "You suck at this game," "Please leave," "Sir, urinating on a wall of a public school is illegal." You know, basically just harassing them with things they don't want to hear. Now, this obviously is a very good power. It can really get people to either rage quit, and you win the game by default, or it gets them to just, like give up. Now, this killer actually does come with a secondary power, but it is very, very, very hard to achieve because of how powerful it is. This next little secondary power is called Uninstall. Now, there are several conditions that have to be met to actually achieve the uninstall power successfully. First of all, hatch has to be closed. It has to be the endgame collapse. The hatch has to be closed. It also has to be between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. in your local time. You have to have reached over 80 decibels in your mic, so pretty much just scream a lot while you're playing. You must have vaulted 13 15 times in one match. Also, every single pallet has to be destroyed on the map. Your Steam name must be set to Matthew Cote, the game director, and obviously, you know, this can't be done on other platforms. It has to be on Steam. And you must be doing this on the Ironworks of Misery map. If all of these conditions are met, you can aim at a survivor and physically uninstall the game for them. Yes, they can install it again, but you know, you're just wasting their time, and you're also discouraging them. It's you know, I guess they really ran out of ideas at this point, but you know what? I think it might be my favorite.
All right, I've been going on for quite a bit. I've leaked a lot actually, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up real soon. But I'll leave you with one treat. It's the last licensed character that is coming to the game. Yes, this is a licensed character. I don't know if you guys are gonna actually know this, but I had to do some research because it's actually from a property that hasn't come out before. It's from a property that is new. It's our third Resident Evil chapter. This is Speo from Resident Evil 10, actually. I know you guys haven't seen it yet, obviously, so it doesn't mean much to you, but believe me, Speo is big. Now, Speo is a new bioweapon in the Resident Evil 10 game. It's this big worm-looking thing. It's pretty big. Now, a lot of you hardcore Resident Evil fans will probably appreciate this, but there's a lot of lore implemented into its power, like with how it's made. Basically, Speo wants to be a technician. He's always dreamed of being a technician. He's got, as you can see, he's got his little hard hat in his toolbox, and so, you know, Speebo's basically, you know, the whole power around him is very game accurate. Resident Evil fans, again, are going to very much appreciate this. He can help the survivors repair generators. And now you may be thinking, well, doesn't that go against, you know, isn't that not a good killer power because it just helps the survivors out? No. It is a good killer power. Because I said so. How dare you f***ing question me? I mean, when you really think about it, what is the point of Dead by Daylight? Is it to win, or is it to have fun? After all, this is a video game. Video games are supposed to be fun, everybody. And what's more fun than letting somebody live out their dreams? If Speo can be a technician, so can you. So I wanted to leave this video off on a positive note, because here we are, we're at the end. I know a lot of people don't like leaks, but, you know, I really thought that this would be a good thing to do, because there's so much discouragement with the game, there's so much bad things happening, you know, there's such a toxic community out there. And I wanted to give everybody in the Dead by Daylight community something to look forward to, you know? So I hope this helped. I hope we're all staying positive. Yeah. Anyways, that was Speo. That was all the killers. Honestly, I think my Speebo's gotta be my favorite.
You little shit!
I can have multiple favorites. Oh shit! I think I was a little too loud. I think the prison warden's here. Oh shit! Oh no! Ow! Ow!